Good afternoon or good morning, everyone. Uh, we will be going to report the feminist therapy by Barbara Harley and Gerald Corey. So, for the introduction, feminist therapy offers a distinct approach by centering gender, social location, power dynamics in the therapeutic process. It emphasizes understanding individual within their social, political, cultural, and historical context, arguing the systematic oppression, particularly psychological marginalization of women, shape clients' struggles. So this framework challenges traditional male-centric theories, which often overlook the impact of patriarchal structure of women identity, self-concept, and well-being. Feminist therapy highlights how socialization pressures women and relinquish power in relation, as noted by Natalie Rogers, and seek to address this dynamic in therapy. So for us to understand the feminist therapy, this feminist therapy, I understand people's problem by looking for how things like gender, where they are from the power affect their lives. It's different from older types of therapy because it recognizes that society's unfairness, especially towards women, causes mental health issues. So to break down the introduction, we have these 4 core beliefs. So number 1, the identity and power. Feminist therapy sees how things like gender, race, and class create different experiences of power and unfairness. Understanding these differences is key to helping people. For an example, a young woman from a rural area feels unused and depressed after harassment at work in the city. So as a feminist therapist, it would explore how the feminist will explore how her gender, background, and job situation make her vulnerable. The therapy would just focus on her feelings, but also on the unfair power differences that caused the problem. Next is the society's impact. It recognizes that society rules and systems like how men have more power than women. This contributes to the mental health problems of a person. It doesn't just focus on personal issues but also on the wider social issues that affect people. For example, merong professional women na overwhelmed. The therapy or the feminist therapy would look at how society's expectations, kagaya ng unequal work at home and siyempre sa work discrimination and discrimination against mothers. So contribute to her stress, the therapy would help her deal with the pressures and her own feelings. Next is the challenging old ways. So in the challenging old ways, feminist therapists criticize older therapists that ignore how gender inequality harms women. Ang isang example naman po nito is pag ang isang babae feels bad about herself after the divorce, then the traditional therapist might focus on her past relationship. Magfo-focus the feminist therapy would also look at how society's idea about women's worth and dependence on men affected her. So the therapist would help her build self-esteem without needing a man's approval. In the relationships naman, it points out how society pressures women to give up power in relationship, and therapy work to change that. So, ang isang example na naman nito is, for example, a woman in abusive relationship might be just told to leave. A feminist therapy would understand the complex power issues in the relationship, like the financial dependence or social pressure. The therapist would help her make choices based on her needs and safety, not just what others expect. Next is the important contributors. These people were important in developing feminist therapy. So, ang unang-una dyan is si Jane Baker Miller. Jane Baker Miller, MD, in 1928 and 2006. She is a clinical professor of psychiatry at Boston University, directed the Jane Baker Miller Training Institute. So, si Jane Baker Miller, nag-focus siya on how relationships and fairness are key to understand people's lives. So, yung idea niya is ginagamit ng mga therapists na mag-focus sa relationship that affects a person's life, both good and bad. They might help someone understand how past relationships shape their feelings and how to build better ones. Next is si Miss Carolyn Zerpe Enns, PhD, professor at the Cornell College Psychology, Women's Ethnic Studies. So, si Carolyn Zerpe naman, a leader in working with people from many different backgrounds and cultures. So, yung mga therapists, ginagamit yung idea niya to consider the person's culture and how it relates into their gender. For example, they might help a woman na mag-balance with her own desires. Next is si Miss Olivia M. Espin, work with women from, I'm sorry for that. Olivia M. Espin, PhD. She is a professor in Emerita San Diego State Alliant International University in Cuban. She was born in Cuban and trained in Costa Rica and the US. So, si Miss Olivia Espin worked with women from various cultures, especially Latino women, showing how culture and moving to a new place affect mental health. So, yung mga therapists uses her approach would pay attention to the person's culture and experiences, moving to a new place, especially if they're from a marginalized group. So, for an example, may isang immigrant na nag-a-adjust sa isang bagong kultura. Siyempre, pag new culture, meron ding discrimination. So, next is Laura S. Brown, PhD, founding member of the Feminist Therapy Institute, expert in feminist therapy, ethics, and trauma. So, si Miss Laura is an expert on the ethical issues and the trauma women face. So, as a therapist, they are using her expertise na mag-focus sa safety and empowering someone who's experienced abuse. They endure the person's feel in control and tinutulungan siya para masuportahan at mag-build yung sense ng kanyang sarili or sense of self. Next is the history and ideas, history and development. So, feminist therapy emerged in the 1960s alongside the women's movement rooted in grassroots activism and consciousness raising groups that highlight systematic oppression. This group supported services like shelters for battered women and refugee crisis centers. So, in the 1960s, kasama ng mga women's movement at saka ng mga grassroots ng mga activism, nag-build sila ng mga groups para malabanan yung mga oppression or systematic oppression. Itong mga grupo na to is sila yung tumutulong sa mga battered women. Battered women, sila yung mga example nito is yung mga martyr na mga babae na nag-i-stay pa rin sila sa mga partner nila because of responsibilities na akala nila is hindi nila kaya even though nasasaktan na sila or binubugbog sila. And of course, the rape crisis centers. Early feminist therapists rejected the hierarchical models, embracing egalitarian collaborative relationship and shifting therapy from an intraphysic focus to address societal, political, and cultural forces impacting clients. Over time, in the 1970s, gender-biased research expanded. Organizations like the Association of Women in Psychology and APA initiative formalized feminist therapy. In the 1970s, research showed how gender biases affected people, and the feminist therapy became more established. In the 1980s, feminist therapy defined itself as distinct, integrated with theories like relational cultural models, by Jen Baker Miller, and the morality care of Carol Gilligan. Focus areas diversified to address issues like eating disorder, abuse, and body images. So in the 1980s, it started using ideas about relationships and caring to help with problems like eating disorders and abuse. In the 1990s and 2000, it emphasizes on the intersectionality, race, class, sexuality, and global perspective. Postmodern critiques and challenge universal truths, while women of color, lesbian, feminists, and global feminists broaden inclusivity. So dito, it became more inclusive, focusing on the experiences of women, of colors, lesbians, and women around the world. So there are 4 different types of feminism. Paki-next nga po. Number 1 is ito yung nag-came up the second wave. So number 1 is the liberal feminism. Liberal feminism wants by changing gender roles. Yung cultural feminism naman is values traditional feminine traits and wants to change society using them. Next is the radical feminism, believes that men's power causes women's oppression and wants major social change. Lastly, yung socialist feminist connects gender inequality with class economic issues. So we have here the third wave, the postmodern feminism. Postmodern feminism challenges simple ideas about gender and shows how it's socially created. Women of color feminism critiques idea that only focus on women. So sila yung lumalaban sa mga pangungutya patungkol sa mga skin colors. Masala na malaki ang discrimination sa black. Lesbian queer feminism challenge idea about sexuality and accept different gender identities. Yung lesbian queer feminism, sila naman yung nakikipag-debate sa idea na hindi lang dalawa ang meron, kundi meron pang ibang gender identities and it should be respected as the main gender. Global feminism critiques the Western-centric views and focuses on how gender inequality affects women worldwide. So, ito yung global feminism. Of course, nakafocus siya na ipaglaban yung gender equality na nangyayari naman sa buong mundo. Hindi lang sa Amerika, kundi pati kahit saan. So, next is the contemporary, the socio-cultural analysis, activism, and systematic changes and inclusivity. In the early feminism, a therapist might help someone understand how society's rules about gender roles affect their feelings. In the modern feminism, a therapist might help someone challenge their own ideas about what it means to be a woman and create more authentic self-image. So how it works today. Modern feminist therapy uses many different methods, but it keeps the main idea in social context. In the social context, it understands how society and power affects people's life. So in the social change naman, it recognizes and helping individuals para to work for the social justice. In conclusion, respecting and including everyone's unique experiences. So ayun, ang isang example ng social context is when a therapist would explore how a person's social class affects their access to help and support. One example naman ng social change is yung therapist naman might encourage someone to get involved in a social justice work.
Ayan. So, moving on, we'll go to the view of human nature po. So, feminist therapy challenges traditional psychological theories, critiquing their first androcentric. Ito yung male-centered. Ito yung nakabase sa karanasan ng mga kalalakihan na para bang sila ang standard. Next is yung gender-centric. Yung gender-centric naman po is, ito yung nakatuon lang sa lalaki versus babae. Parang dalawa, kumbaga sa sex lang is dalawa lang po. Hindi kinikilalang ibang gender such as LGBTQ. Next naman po is yung heterosexist. Yung heterosexist lang po is yung tingin lang po nila is yung normal na tao is yung straight. So pag kumbaga ikaw is hindi ka straight or parang gay or kabilang sa LGBTQ is parang hindi ka tinuturing na isang normal. Next naman is yung deterministic. Deterministic is ito yung pag-aakala na build na yung ugali nila noong bata pa sila. Parang naka-fix na po. Tsaka sa intrapsychic naman, focus lang sa ito yung naka-focus lang sa internal intrapsychic. Ito ay nakafocus lang sa internal problems. Parang ikaw mismo yung sarili mo mismo nagmumula ang problema. Hindi mo kinukonsider yung mga yung epekto ng lipunan o paligid sa society mo. Ayan. Ayan, dako naman po tayo sa feminist perspective. First is yung gender fair. Yung gender fair is walang gender bias. Dapat lahat ng gender is pare-pareho lang at walang kinikilalang mas mataas. Ayun. Next naman is flexible multicultural. Itong flexible multicultural is parang open ka sa lahat ng kultura or bukas sa iba't ibang kultura at karanasan ng isang tao or yung mga ibang tao. Ayan, next naman po is yung interactionist. Interactionist is itong pinag-aaralan kung paano naapektuhan ng lipunan ang isang tao. Di ba? So, kaya nga po siya interactionist kung ito kung paano ang interaction ng isang tao sa kanyang lipunan. Next is yung lifespan-oriented. Ayan, from the word itself na lifespan-oriented means from birth to death. Is ang isang tao ay hindi lang nakatuon sa isang aspeto ng kanyang buhay, ang kanyang pagkatao. Parang lahat ng pinanganak siya hanggang sa namatay siya, doon dapat nakabase ang kanyang pagkatao. Hindi nakabase sa nung bata pa siya or nung adult lang siya, ganun po. So, ayan. Next. Ayan, next naman po is yung therapeutic goal. Feminist therapy aims to empower individuals and transform society by addressing systemic oppression, example yung sexism and racism, and promoting equality. Goals include fostering self-agency, valuing diversity, and balancing independence with interdependence. Individual level goals. Yung first is yung empowerment. Ito ay para turuan ang mga client maging confident sa kanilang mga sarili at may control sa kanilang buhay. Second is yung self-awareness. Self-awareness is yung para tulungan natin ang ating mga clients upang maging self-aware sila, maging aware sa kanilang kung identity, kung sino sila, at kung paano naapektuhan ng society. Kung anong epekto ng society sa kanila, ay dapat maging aware din po sila. Next po is skill development. Ito ay para matulungan natin ang ating mga clients na mag-develop ng life skills at coping tools. Ito yung skills, di ba, kasi is galing sa nagmumula sa clients natin mismo. Parang ang papel lang natin is tulungan natin silang i-discover kung ano ba yon, tsaka tulungan natin silang i-develop kung ano man yon. At saka at saka tulungan din natin sila para ma-identify kung ano ang coping tools kung ano yung mga coping mechanisms or tools na nakakatulong sa kanila kung makakatulong sa kanila kung makakaharap silang pagsubok sa buhay. Ayan, so fourth is yung relational strength. Ito naman ay yung pagkakaroon ng healthy relationships habang pinapanatili ang sariling identity. Parang ito is tinutulungan natin ang ating mga clients na mag-build ng healthy relationships. Example sa friendships, tinutulungan natin silang i-explore ang paano nga ba yung healthy relationships. Ito yung sample. Dapat kung nasa isang healthy relationship ka is dapat alam mo yung worth mo. Hindi ka nagiging people pleaser or nakikipagsabayan lang sa mga kaibigan mo kasi yun ang gusto nila, pero sa'yo is hindi naman. So, ayan. So, next naman po is yung societal level goals. First is depathologize women's experiences. Ito ay wag dapat natin i-diagnose agad bilang may sakit or hindi normal ang reactions ng mga kababaihan, yung mga normal na reactions ng mga kababaihan. Ayan, so dito papasok ang ating principles, isa sa ating principles sa social work, yung non-judgmental attitude. At saka yung individualization po. Next naman po is yung institutional change. Ito ay upang hikayatin ang pagbabago sa mga sistema, like example sa school, saka workplace. Di ba nung unang panahon kasi sa pag-aaral is yung mga lalaki lang ang pumapasok. At saka sa trabaho din, yung mga mas pinapahalagaan is yung mga kalalakihan. Pero dito sa goals ng feminist is dapat lahat ay pantay-pantay, maging sa school man yan or sa trabaho. Ayan, so next is social activism. Ito ay kung kaya at gusto ng client, suportahan natin silang maging bahagi ng pagbabago sa lipunan. Parang ito is inclusive po. Ayan. So lahat dapat ay bahagi ng pagbabago, gender man or babae or lalaki. Ayan. So next, punta mo naman po tayo sa feminist therapist approach to assessment and diagnosis. First is yung critique of traditional diagnostic systems. Feminist therapists critically challenge the DSM for inherent biases, like the gender, race, culture, arguing it pathologizes women by framing male traits as normative. So, ayan. So, critic of DSM. Ito yung sinasabing minsan ang DSM ay masyadong western nga siya na yung parang male-oriented lang siya. Kaya hindi fair sa kababaihan at ang ibang grupo. Ayan. So, second is reframing distress. Symptoms are viewed as coping strategies against oppressive environments, not pathology. At reframing distress ay hindi agad tinatawag na disorder ang problema. Baka ito ay coping mechanisms lang nila dahil sa oppressions. So, ayan. Ito Ayan, dito din ulit papasok ang ating principle na, which is non-judgmental attitude. Kasi nga nung sa unang panahon, yung mga kababaihan dahil sa oppression is dahil lang may problema, tinatawag agad na disorder. Which is yung disorder is may proseso po yan kung paano ma-identify ang isang problema as disorder. Next naman po is collaborative and strengths-based assessment. Diagnosis is co-constructed with clients, prioritizing their expertise on their experience. So ito naman yung palaging hina-highlight sa atin na kung sa pagtutulong ng client sa planning phase is hindi dapat ang social worker lang ang nagpaplano, kundi dapat pareho sila sa clients. Kasi ang clients is sila ang mas nakakaalam sa kanilang experience. So andun lang ang mga social workers upang magabayan at saka matulungan sa pagpaplano sa helping phase pa. Kasi dito kasi sa is naka-base po ngayon po sa sa client sa strength-based approach. Naka-base ang pagpaplano sa strengths ng client para maging effective. Ayan. Next naman po, number 4 is trauma-informed reinterpretations. Diagnoses like borderline personality disorder are critiqued as gendered and stigmatizing. Dito naman halimbawa, ang borderline personality disorder ay tinitingnan kung ito ay resulta ng trauma at hindi basta abnormal behavior. So ito ay binabase nila kung ito ba yung kumbaga sa isang client, yung kanyang pagkabata is nagkaroon siya ng trauma. Ayun. So tinitingnan kung yung ang kanyang borderline personality disorder ay kung nagmumula ba sa kanyang trauma or cause ng trauma nung kanyang pagkabata. Ayan. At hindi lang nakabase sa kanyang abnormal na behavior at the present. Ayan. So next, last is yung ethical use of DSM. While acknowledging the DSM's role in managed care, feminist therapists use it cautiously. So ayan, ginagamit ng feminist therapy ang DSM kung talagang kailangan. Example, para sa insurance. At gagamitin ito ng may pag-iingat at saka mausisang proseso. Ayan. So, next naman po is Ms. Rochelle will next explain the techniques and the strategies po.
So we will go to the techniques and strategies. Number 1, techniques and strategies of feminist theory, which is the empowerment and informed consent. So in the empowerment and informed consent, which is in the feminist theory, therapy should not feel like the therapist is in control. So the client just to follow. It should be a partnership where both people work together equally. So that happens in Alma's therapy, that it starts with the empowerment and informed consent, which means Alma is given the power to understand what's happening and make her own choices about her healing. In together, Alma and the therapist should set goals and talk openly about what therapy will be like. This helps Alma feel. Number 2, techniques in strategies, which is the gender role in social identity analysis. In the feminist therapy, the therapist is not seen as someone who is above the client. That's why sometimes the therapists share their own personal struggles, and this is called the self-disclosure. So when the therapists share their own experience, it helps Alma that she's not alone. And it also shows that Alma that people can go through hard things and still become strong again. So that's called resilience, and that fits with feminist therapy because it values honesty, connection, and equality. It breaks the idea that the therapist is perfect and
Instead, builds a relationship where both people are human and learning from each other. And number 3 is therapy self-disclosure, which is the therapy shares personal struggles to normalize Alma's experiences and modern resilience. So, sa therapy ni Alma, she talks about the ideas she learned from society about being a woman, like how she should dress, behave or think about her body and sexuality. So this process is called gender role and social identity analysis. And the feminist therapy helps Alma question these ideas instead of accepting them. It helps her see which beliefs are truly hers and which ones are taught by society. So by understanding this, Alma can decide what kind of woman she wants to be. This makes herself stronger, more confident, and helps her live in a way that feels right for her, not just what others expected. So in number 4, power analysis. In the feminist therapy, power analysis looks at how power is unfairly divided in the society. So, in the Alma's therapy, they talk about how these unfair systems affects her lives, maybe in her family, work, or relationships. So, by understanding this, Alma realizes that she's not the only one who has a problem. Some of it comes from the unfair systems around her. So, for example, in the work, men are often give more opportunities than Alma. So in therapy, she understands that it's because of the unfair systems. It's because of the unfair social systems, not because of her own fault. So dito na-realize ni Alma na nai-encourage siya to stand up for her rights. Number 5 is bibliotherapy. In Alma's therapy, she reads feminist books about LGBTQ+ experiences in body image. So this is called bibliotherapy or healing through reading. So this helps. So these stories helps Alma. She's not alone, and that's her struggle come from society's unfair standards and not because something is wrong with her. So feminist theory support this because it uses education and shared stories to help people feel stronger, understood, and empowered. So number 6 techniques and strategies, which is the reframing and relabeling. Sa therapy ni Alma, when she criticizes herself, the therapist helps her see it in a new way. Instead of thinking she's wrong or not enough, they reframe it as a sign that she's resisting unfair roles like society expectations about gender or sexuality. So this is called the heteronormativity. Feminist theory support this because it helps people relabel their pain or struggles as strength, not weaknesses. It shows that speaking up or feeling different isn't bad. Also, it can be a form of power and courage. For example, Alma says, "I'm too emotional. Maybe something's wrong with me." And her therapist helps her see it's different. Maybe you're emotional because you care deeply, and that's not a weakness. It's a strength, especially in a world that tells women to stay quiet. So this helps Alma feel proud instead of ashamed. Number 7, assertiveness training. Alma therapy learns how to speak up for herself at work and experiences her needs clearly, but in the way that still respect her culture and values. So sa feminist theory support this because it helps people, especially women and those from marginalized groups, to find their voice and stand up for their rights. It teaches that being confident and respectful is a way to take power and be true to yourself. So, for example, at work, Alma is always given extra tasks but is afraid to say no. In therapy, she learns to say, "I'm happy to help, but I also need time for my other duties." This way, she speaks up without being disrespectful. This helps Alma feel more confident and shows that setting boundaries is not being rude, it is standing up for herself. Number 8, techniques and strategies, which is the social action. Sa therapy ni Alma, she encourages to join LGBTQ+ advocacy or body positive groups. This helps her see that her personal healing is also connected to helping others and fighting for fairness. So feminist therapy believes that really healing includes not just personal growth but also working together with others to change unfair systems. So by joining these groups, Alma feels more empowered, connected, and part of something bigger than herself. So last techniques and strategies, which is the group work. Sa therapy ni Alma, siya ay tinutulungan mag-transition sa support group tulad ng LGBTQ+ or women's group. Dito nakakahanap siya ng solidarity or pagkakaisa sa mga taong may parehong karanasan. Sa group na ito, nababawasan ang pakiramdam ng pag-iisa at nagkakaroon siya ng chance na mag-practice ng mga skills tulad ng pagiging assertiveness o pa-express ng sarili. So according to the feminist theory, mahalagang shared experience at support group mula sa community. So for example, sa group work is Alma joined an LGBTQ+ support group where members shared their experiences with discrimination. So discrimination in body image. As she listened to others, she realized she was not alone. She also learned to speak more confidently and slowly being assertive, like asking for respect at work. So through this group, Alma felt support and strength from others, an important part of feminist therapy which values collective healing and empowerment. So thank you for everyone. Yan po ang aming report about feminist theory.